I'm Scott.
And today is Watery Wednesday, number 2.
Part 2. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about our freshwater planted scape. So we have our twin aquarium build. You can see the playlist for that. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can see all the good stuff we've done. But we're going to give you an introduction for those of you that are just tuning in to our freshwater planted aquascape with do-it-yourself CO2, inexpensive LED lighting, and pretty dandy results, right? So yeah. Let's get down. Let's go for a deep dive into the aquarium. All right, let's go.
So here's our beautiful, luscious, gorgeous freshwater tank.
It's luscious.
Luscious.
It's so beautiful.
I just love the little lines of dots.
Yeah, this is the freshwater half of our dual aquascape here. And it is going absolutely beautifully, isn't it?
Perfect.
So Zosia, why don't you run us down the fish that we have in here first?
So, right here we have...
What are the little guys?
Oh, the little guys?
Do you remember what they're called?
So this guy is the amber tetra.
Yep, amber tetras. Do you remember what the red and blue guys are?
Cardinal tetras.
And what about these orange striped guys?
Those are glow light tetras.
Glow light tetras, that's right. And then there's actually one X-ray Pristella tetra in here that's just kind of like hanging on. And he's doing his thing. He's been in there forever. And he's just kind of like the odd man out. I don't know, he's hanging out in the plants somewhere. And then what other fish do we have in here? There's a few more that are not out right now, and we'll try to get a shot of.
We have 2 bristlenose plecos.
Yep, we have the albino, the female named.
She's beautiful.
And what's her name?
Her name is Penelope or Penny.
Yep, Penny. And then we have the male, which is a little younger, but he's growing quick. Okay, we should say we hope he's a male, right? Yes. We don't honestly know if it's a male or female, but...
We do know about Penny, though.
Correct. There's another one, and what is his name? The regular standard wild type.
His name is Percy.
Percy. So we got Percy and Penelope. And extra gold star for anybody who knows why we named them that.
Yeah.
Same reason why we name everything what we do.
Okay, well, we say this in every one of our videos, basically. But if you can identify it, we'll give you a thumbs up.
Yeah, you'll get a thumbs up, and if I ever meet you in person, I'll give you a high five. How about that?
Yes.
So we also have in here, we've got an autocinkless catfish, which is, I'm not even going to try to get a picture of because it's not going to happen.
He was just out.
Yeah, yeah, every once in a while you'll spot them, but that's about it.
And then we have lots of shrimp.
And we have lots of shrimp. We have a whole fleet of red cherry shrimp.
Dumbledore's Army.
That we refer to collectively as Dumbledore's Army.
Yes.
And then we have 2 Pepperatus Cory catfish as well, right?
Yeah, the Cory catfish were just out too.
So let's run down
There's a Cory catfish.
Oh yeah, there we go. There's one of our Corys as well.
And there's one back there too.
And what do we name those guys? Fred and George or something like that?
We didn't name any of them.
Oh, we should probably do something about that. But at any rate, let's run down some of the plants here, okay? So most of these plants were just cuttings that we took from earlier aquariums, and we're doing this entire system on do-it-yourself CO2.
Yes, we
so
do a video on
if
that.
you hear people online say you can't get consistency and can't get good results with do-it-yourself CO2, I say baloney. No. It can totally be done, but you just have to science your way through it, and we'll get into that. So we've got a few things going on here. We've got some, right here in the center, we've got some Bucophilandra. We've got some Anubias nana petite. This is an Anubias coffeophilia. Let me see here. This is Pogostigmon. I believe that's what it's called. We've got some miniature dwarf hairgrass plugs that are just beginning to now spread. They're getting there. The stuff that looks like a vine is what, Hydrocodal japonica, if I'm not mistaken. We've got some Java ferns that are just now growing up from having basically a bare rhizome.
Oh, the Cory catfish is like way out in the glass.
This is Sterigani repens, which will begin to spread out some. And then all the stems in the background are a mishmash of 2 species. We've got Rotella indica, which are the finer leaves, and then the rounder leaves, that texture is actually Bacopa carolinea. And that, my friends, is nerdy 101, the fact that I actually know all those names. And granted, I might be wrong. So if I've misidentified anything, by all means, leave a comment. We love to learn. And there are a couple of other random stems there's something that appears to be some sort of crypt, which I have no idea what it is. It was a dying, floating scrap of a plant in a Petco.
Yes.
And I said, hey, can I have that for free? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna throw it away anyway. And this is actually the 4th time that we've grown it up from its rosette. It gets massive. It'll reach the top of this tank in like no problem at all. So it's cool.
Yeah, that's also a great way. If you ever see like a plant that's like they're gonna throw away probably, you can get those probably for free, and they grow actually kind of fast sometimes.
Yep, you can totally get the TLC. And then I have this other stem plant over here that, to be honest, I don't know what it is, with the red tops, but it's pretty and it grows and we love it, and yay for plants.
Yay for plants.
So the lighting on this tank are 2 Beamswork F-Spec, what is it, DA F-Spec freshwater LED strip lights. These are what, 40 bucks a piece on Amazon?
Very bright.
Yep, and they're super bright and they grow lights beautifully. You can actually see on this front one here, I actually have some material to diffuse the light a little bit, because that sits right over the Anubias, which is a lower light plant, and I don't want to like frazzle it with too much light. So that actually is working pretty well. Now here's the secret. All right, you ready for the secret on running CO2?
Oh, well, let's find out.
All right, so here's the thing. So you can get great results by going out and spending lots of money on a pressurized CO2 system, and we may even upgrade one day because, you know, it's a lot less work and it's very consistent and they work awesome. But let's face it, it's expensive. And I know there's a lot of people out there that like do-it-yourself solutions.
Well,
right?
DIY, CO2.
It's totally the way to go with a lot of times, right? But here's the thing. The key to getting CO2 in an aquarium to work properly is it has to be very consistent. Wow. And that's hard to do when you're using yeast and sugar water, right? So this is how we do it. We actually have set on here 2 bottles of yeast and sugar water. And once a week, each one of these bottles gets changed, right? Yeah. Well, so we're changing 2 a week. We change 1 on a Wednesday and 1 on a Saturday.
Yep. And
I put in 2 cups of sugar and 1 teaspoon of just regular, cheap Fleischmann's bread yeast. Same stuff you find in a grocery store, right? You shake it up, runs into the airline tubing that then runs up behind the tank and into this power head. And you can actually see it bubbling out. I have the power head off for filming reasons right now, but you can see it bubbling out. And that is the CO2 coming out. Gets chopped up by the bubble or by the impeller, spit all over the aquarium, and you get all these beautiful bubbles. And then the result are... See the stream of bubbles coming out? That's all pure oxygen that the plants are producing.
And this is what we get when you mix plants, animals, sand, CO2, beauty.
Beauty. So here's the secret. We change the CO2 intermittently at 2 different times during the week. So there's always one that's getting tired and always one that's brand new and fresh. Right?
Yes.
So that's secret number 1 to keep it stable. Secret number 2 is they both sit inside this water bath that's hooked up to an aquarium heater. And the aquarium heater comes on about 3 or 4 hours before the lights turn on. It warms up the water. It speeds up the metabolism of the yeast. The yeast starts producing more CO2, and the CO2 levels get to where they need to be during the day. And then about 2 hours before the lights go off, that aquarium heater shuts off, the water cools down, and doesn't stop, but slows down the CO2 production a bunch.
Jenny likes eating cat.
And Jenny likes fish food, apparently. But that's a different story, right?
Yeah, that's a different story about Jenny eating
And
fish food.
that is the secret, okay? Is you have to take steps to control the metabolism of the yeast, and then you get much, much more consistent results.
Better results.
Exactly. And now I'm not going to say this is easier than using a pressurized CO2 system, because that wouldn't be true. But it's a lot cheaper and it's a lot more nerdy and fun.
Yeah.
Which we are all about being nerdy. And the results speak for themselves. If you look back when we first did the build of this, you can go and look actually at the freshwater scape video that we've done. And there was just a couple of scraps of plants. And I mean, and look at it now. Look at the background. It is absolutely bonkers. So we love our freshwater scape. We hope you enjoyed a little tour of our aquarium, and make sure to
subscribe.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Again, we have Watery Wednesdays where we talk about our 2 aquariums.
Froggy Fridays.
Froggy Fridays where we're going to talk about our poison dart frog vivarium and
Snaky Sunday.
Snaky Sundays, as Zosia says, where we are going to talk about our pet ball python.
There you go.
Oh, and there it is.
Yes, we found it. We found it.
The lone Pristilla tetra.
Yes.
All
so they're
right.
also known as the X-ray tetra sometimes.
Yep, they sure are.
So thank you for tuning in. We will catch you next time, and make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.